All this time, days go by, flowers they bloom and die. You make my dreams come alive. You make my whole world alright. You're always there, wanting the best for me. My best friend, holding my hand again until the very end. When you smile, you make my life worthwhile. You make my dreams come alive. You make my whole world alright. You're always there, wanting the best for me. You make my dreams come alive. You make my whole world alright. You're always there, wanting the best for me. Yeah, I think it's clear to see we're still in love.
Hello, hello, hello. Let me turn on the music because I have a couple of videos I want to go over. Um, and I have hello, who's ever in the chat. Please hit the thumbs up. Okay, first of all, okay, I didn't go live yesterday because I am battling a migraine back here that you would not believe. And yesterday I couldn't even see the computer screen to be able to read what was on it. Today it's not as bad, but it still hurts. And but I'm here. So let's put the fair use up. Everything here is in fair use with the FCC. And another one, I gotta make this one bigger to see it. Everything in this video is based on opinions, interpretations of facts as we know them. Nothing is true unless we can back it with facts. Nothing is meant to be used as accusations against anyone. The thoughts and opinions of the people in chat are not necessarily the same as the host. Please be kind and do not harass any member of the chat, the host, or the host. Let's make this a friendly and informative platform to come and enjoy learning about what is happening away from our smartphones, TVs, and computers. All right, let's remove that. Let's remove that. And then we're going to go to, I hope I haven't had this open for too long because I was going to use it the day before yesterday and I couldn't. Oh, that's what it is. My royalty-free music track is still open. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see if this will play. All right, this is the interview from Smiley's World with missing Sebastian Rogers' stepdad and mom. And the video credit goes to Clutch Them Pearls. All right. So let's play this.
Sorry. All right, we're going to get started watching this from last night. Want to thank Smiley for allowing us to view this. Appreciate you, Smiley, very, very much. I might skip through some parts where they are just, just idle talk, more or less. He lives at the job site. Oh my God. Well, he is.
I do want to say, let me bring this up so I can look at you while I say it. I do want to say that if I make a comment, I mean no disrespect to neither Justin nor Miss Smiley, because they are both wonderful content creators. So I give them credit, and they are just wonderful people.
Is there's different. Chris said last night that he almost got fired with his job. Now, I have heard that he was fired, but he is saying that he still has his job.
I have heard that he was fired from that job too. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think he actually went back to work at the construction site at St. Jude's.
He got it worked out, which I don't want anybody to lose their job. You know what I mean? I would never want anybody to lose their job. We're here for Sebastian and Sebastian. That is a Teamster job, aka union. Yeah, Chris did. How there's like you can search for jobs and there's groups for unions and stuff on Facebook. He did join one. Angela, wasn't he there last night? I thought it sounded like he was there last night, but people said it also sounded like a scanner, not so much. Like, I thought it was like a walkie-talkie. You know what I mean? But people are.
Yeah, what I hear in this video is where it's radio control, where he's talking back and forth to people on the ground about what he needs to do with this crane. I think that's what Justin's trying to say.
Saying it was more of a scanner. So he's at work and they're both hanging out in YouTube live chats. Yeah. Yep, he said he was at work. He did say he was at work. He sounded like he was using a CB radio. See, I thought it was like a CB or something, but I don't know. He could have picked up you know, a different job. I don't know. So we'll just have to see. Why is my phone blowing up? Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna pass this up.
Okay. I have
Maybe.
permission to stream JLR's live stream right now. So let's just go to JLR's live stream for a moment. From Magnolia. Thank you, Magnolia. Let me bear with me one second.
I was not aware of this. I didn't watch this before. I'm gonna give credit to.
Second here, we'll view his. Sorry.
We'll go around the other way. There's a car sitting there watching. We're in Memphis. This is called MURDER Memphis. So it's kind of scary. The sun is going down, and I'm out here. Right before I came here, right around the corner, there was someone laying out in the street. Might have been DEAD. I don't know. The police surrounded the person. Looked like somebody homeless. It's rough around here. Christopher Proudfoot, history of lying, deceiving, manipulating, controlling the situation. I've heard it over and over and over again.
I've worked with
I've seen
JLR
enough
in person. So
to become with this determination. Now,
I'll tell
do
you
your
about
due diligence, do your research, and you'll see it too. I'm not giving the Proudfoots any benefit of the doubt at this point. Matter of fact, I know Proudfoot, coming on to YouTubers' channels and speaking, supposed to bring awareness about Sebastian. He went on last night and he went on a first 30 minutes rambling about me, rambling about how people are saying things about him. He should be wondering about Sebastian. It should be about Sebastian, not what people think about him. It's wild stuff. But I listen to that, and my only response is, I'm not even going to entertain Mr. Proudfoot anymore, me personally. Even if he comes to me at this point, says he wants to talk.
I do not know what happened.
Your research, and you'll see it too. I'm not giving the Proudfoots any benefit of the doubt at this point. Matter of fact, I know Proudfoot, coming on to YouTubers' channels and
Justin
speaking,
must have backed it up.
supposed to bring awareness about Sebastian. He went on last night and he went on a first 30 minutes rambling about me, rambling about how people are saying things about him. He should be wondering about Sebastian. It should be about Sebastian, not what people think about him. It's wild stuff. But I listen to that, and my only response is, I'm not even going to entertain Mr. Proudfoot anymore, me personally. Even if he comes to me at this point, says he wants to talk, I'm not talking to him, ever. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to Proudfoot. I don't want to talk to Katie Proudfoot. I don't want to talk to Christopher Proudfoot. I'm never going to speak to him. The goal here is now to find Sebastian and hold the people. I say people, plural. I say people, plural.
I bet you if Chris Proudfoot said, JLR, you're the only person I'm going to tell exactly where Sebastian is, I bet JLR would say, all right, I'll listen to you, but I'm going to record it. And if it ain't true, then, I bet JLR would listen. If Chris Proudfoot or Katie Proudfoot were to contact only him, because he says he's not going to listen to him anymore. But anyway, I'm just making a joke. All respect to JLR.
Accountable for what happened to this innocent kid. Proudfoot's, well, they might be in some big trouble because there's things brewing behind the scenes. I'm not going to reveal that at this time. There's things revealing around the scene. I think that car went that way. But we're going to go around. We're going to go around the other block. So my goal here's what's going on. And I put this tweet out. I'm going to tell you exactly what I said on my tweet. There's where Proudfoot works. But I'm going to tell you exactly what I said on my tweet. I said on my tweet today that, and this is in reference to.
I have a question. Maybe somebody in chat can answer it. You can hear my dogs one in. If JLR is standing right there at Chris Proudfoot's job site, why did Bullhorn Betty get arrested for stalking him for being near the same spot? That doesn't make sense. They targeted Bullhorn Betty. Oh goodness, Bullhorn Betty, I'm so sorry.
This is in reference to a search. Now, I was out there today. With Seth, and I was out there today with volunteers. We were out there looking. They were handing out flyers and, trying to find answers. So Seth is not giving up. The father, the biological father, is not giving up on Sebastian.
He's not going to give up either.
He is going for the next at least 2 days. Thursday or Friday and Saturday. Tomorrow's Friday, Saturday, 8 a.m. If you want to help him, you want to help Seth get answers about Sebastian. You live in Tennessee. He's going to be searching at it's called the Natchez Trace State Park. Natchez Trace State Park. He's also going to go along Highway 412 to Jackson, east of Jackson. You can meet Seth. He's going to be at the McDonald's every morning at 8 a.m. as a staging ground. The McDonald's in Wildersville or Wildersville McDonald's. It's right off of Interstate 40. He'll be there tomorrow. He'll be there Saturday. If you're in the Tennessee area and you want to help make a difference and you want to help find answers about Sebastian and show support for Seth and the Rogers family and show support, go out there. Go out there and.
Now, I do have to say, this was clear back in the beginning of the investigation. This is not happening currently. This is not current. This is old. It's like, I don't remember how far old it is. Maybe I can scroll down and see. 10 months ago. 10 months. So it's not right now.
How?
Don't go to McDonald's.
Because it's quite possible, folks,
Seth.
Sebastian could be in that area, somewhere between Hendersonville and this location right here. This is where he worked. He could be in this location from here all the way to Hendersonville. But, State Park up there, right off of I-40, mile. If you ever get the chance and you want to do your own work and volunteering and help to find Sebastian, go along I-40, go north or south 1 mile and look in the trails, look along dirt roads, look around in outhouses, look around in barns. Please don't trespass, try to get permission, right? At least, or go around the side of the roads. Look, because Sebastian is out there. Look, Sebastian is out there. But yeah, if I hope that Proudfoot's going Nancy Grace, because Nancy Grace is going to lay it down on him. Nancy Grace, and I'm going back to the journalist. If you're a journalist and you know the full picture here, there's no more softball questions going on the Proudfoot. You get Proudfoot on the show, lay down those questions.
Thank you, Darcy.
Put his feet to the fire. Ask him the tough questions. Don't comfort them. Don't coddle them. Don't enable them. Don't pacify them.
That's right.
Hold their feet to the fire, because the authorities still don't have answers. Authorities are in.
I think that's the reason he probably didn't come here tonight, because I wasn't going to pacify anybody, to be honest with you. He says ask the tough questions, but I don't know if he really means it. I don't know if he really means it, to be honest with you. I had some tough questions.
Justin, you know by now, you didn't know then 10 months ago, but you know by now that if you ask him a tough question, he's going to say, law enforcement won't let me answer that question. Oh my goodness.
But it doesn't sound like he wanted to do it. But it's getting late there. Let's see. Let's see a little bit
Investigating
more.
this case. They're investigating for sure.
Yeah, well, Smiley, time to start with me.
Also
I'm
tomorrow,
a
folks,
girly
I'll be
boy,
back
so I kind of
in
check both.
I will be back in Nashville. But this is important. This is an important, this site right here when it comes to the Sebastian Rogers case. It's a very important piece of the puzzle when it comes to Christopher Proudfoot and his whereabouts the 25th into the 26th.
So as you can see, this is the area where he's working. You can tell where he's up in a crane. But you know what Chris said? He's like, I'm sitting high above in a crane, like high above the city. I mean, respectfully, that doesn't look like high above the city, does it? Does that look like high above the city to y'all? I thought he wanted tough questions. Oh, listen, let me tell you something. That's okay. I'll give him some tough questions if he wants to answer them. But, we'll have to see if he wants him. Well, Justin, he's a short guy. Right. Right. Yeah, this he's supposedly working at Vanderbilt Hospital right now. Supposedly. All right. Let's watch this interview about last night. Because I got
Okay, now we're going back to Smiley.
a lot to say. And listen, mods, please drop this link if Mr. or Mrs. Proudfoot would like to join us. Would like to join us. Okay, thank you, SU. Gotcha. We'll have more information tomorrow. Just hang tight. Hang tight. Okay? All right. I want to thank Smiley again for this interview. I cannot believe that this man, Chris, said that he whooped, spanked with a leather belt an autistic child because he forgot, or even if he lied about his belt. That does not ever warrant for a whipping. Ever. Let me tell you something. Look at the studies. Look at the studies, because the studies will tell you, especially someone that is, missing a chromosome, that has autism, it doesn't work. They physically feel things differently. That is why certain, fabrics or anything can trigger them. Of course, there's a wide range, but they physically feel things differently. Not only that, they physically, or not physically, they mentally can scar them. What warrants someone whipping a child, especially a special needs child, for a freaking belt? I don't know about you, sensory issues, yes, but I forget something every day. Every day. Let me tell you something.
Yeah. Well,
The truth is
He's supposed to a wide range, because comes up here, I'll try to ask him. He did. He certainly did.
yeah.
the
Well,
truth is no matter what any of y'all think, I didn't do anything to my son. My husband didn't do anything to my son. We love him dearly, and we are doing everything that we can to try and find him and bring him home. And his father loves him dearly as well.
mhm. Well, there's a lot of questions that
I need to
people
take care of that.
have and a lot of what ifs. And, I know sometimes it's tough. I mean, I've seen a lot of cases like this, and I know, you know, I wouldn't want to be in your.
Isn't it odd Sebastian goes missing after the time Chris has custody court for his daughter? That's a good point, Amy. Very good point. I absolutely, in my opinion, until he can convince me otherwise or prove it otherwise, he would have to prove it to convince me, but that he did not want his daughter around Sebastian.
In my opinion, my thought is about that situation. If the courts see that one child has gone missing from their home right before they're going for a custody case, if the courts see that, the parent who's home, the Proudfoot's home, because Sebastian's missing, why would they give custody to Chris of Little Faith? Because wouldn't the courts be afraid that she would be in danger of going missing as well? Just asking. Just asking.
He did not, in my opinion. I absolutely don't think that he wanted his daughter around Sebastian. And I tell you what irritates me even more is Sebastian's mother knew all of this. Sebastian's mother knew all of this.
Your shoes. Let me say that. I would not want to be in your shoes.
I wouldn't want anybody to have to be in my shoes, to be honest with you. It's nothing any parent should ever have to go through.
Right.
I agree with that.
I've seen in my own family, I've actually had a runaway and I ended up murder, and I know it's not the same. It's not my child. Although I have lost a child, and this is not about me, it's about Sebastian. But I will tell you, nobody should have to sit in your shoes. There's not words that I can say. But also I do have an autistic son, and I know many do.
Here we go.
Opinions, and there's no stone we can leave unturned. We have to think outside the box. And
Let's get on with the thingy here.
By that side of the question everybody's been asking,
He falls down.
no, he does not have a restraining order from his daughter. He speaks to her, just to go ahead and clear that one out, because I know there's been a lot of talk about that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been going through if you've been going through a custody battle for 6, 7+ years, I mean, you only get to do that till, 17 or 18 years old. I mean, if you can't figure this out in 7 years, what the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong? If you're on your 5th marriage, you're not good at this. You are not good in the marriage department. I'm not saying it's all your fault, but clearly the common factor is you. That's the common factor.
So, I mean, he still speaks to her on the phone, as y'all see.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Our little girl is precious and loved, just like Sebastian.
yeah. So, somebody's wanting to know, that question's come up a couple of times, and I don't mean to be rude. I'm just going to ask that. I have saw it, like, do y'all, do you not call her y'all's daughter, since y'all call him y'all's son?
We do.
And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know, in my opinion, I mean, I have a lot of questions for these parents. A lot of questions. And he says he'll take the hard questions. But in my opinion, they both know. They both absolutely know, in my opinion, something. A little boy, not a little boy, 15-year-old autistic child doesn't run outside in 26 degrees without a jacket or anything else, but allegedly takes a keychain flashlight. Out of all things in this world, why take a keychain flashlight? Oh, I know. Because what? There's 2 light sources beaming very faintly in the back common area, right up at the house. To me, that is preemptive. That is preemptive.
You have a point, Justin. Hello to the 3 people in.
Oh, he didn't take his shoes. Oh, there's nothing, no one seeing him on any camera. Can't talk about it.
And I'm not, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, was he gone for like 3 weeks or two and a half?
Tara, why didn't Chris want his daughter around Sebastian? Good question. Good question. Why do these step parents, we see almost every time, y'all. These step parents, how many cases have we seen? How many? Almost in every case. If it's not the parent, it's the step parent. I think, in my opinion, Chris likes to control. It's his way or the highway. These just don't feel good.
See Sebastian when he come home.
Okay.
Oh, question. So, Seth would get Sebastian every other weekend, holidays and summer. That's when Seth got to be with Sebastian. Now, what did on the weeks she had, on the weeks Katie had Sebastian, on the weekends Katie had Sebastian, what did they do? Did he not come up and see them on the weekends Katie had Sebastian and the weeks? Or did her and Sebastian go down there? Because I don't believe it that he hadn't seen Sebastian since February. I don't believe it. Trust me. He sounds a little too controlling and wants to know what's going down in his castle. He does. Certainly does.
Just come home every weekend. But when he can, he does. He comes home and sees him.
Yeah.
Kirst says Katie goes to Memphis when Sebastian is at his dad's. Yes, I've heard that. So they practically they see each other what, 4 days a month? If they only see each other like every other weekend. I don't believe that.
Now, okay, he's only working 3.5 hours, or at this time, away from their home. That's not the same as my husband, who's an over-the-road truck driver, and he's gone 3, 4, 5 weeks at a time. Sometimes I only see my own husband 4 days a month. We talk to each other every day on the phone. Sometimes we only get 5 minutes. Sometimes we get 2 hours. But we don't have 3-hour phone calls every single day. I mean, yes, he gets bored in that truck being the only person there, nobody to talk to, so he'll call me. But I got things I got to do here at home, getting a live stream out, putting out my thrifting videos. We have a 17-year-old son that we are raising together. So the only seeing each other 4 days a month, I can believe that. But with as close as they are, he could come home every Friday night. I mean, he seriously could come home, do your laundry, don't have to take it to a laundromat, get fresh groceries to bring back for the next week, that sort of stuff. I can see what Justin's saying about he doesn't understand, he doesn't believe that. Because if my husband was only working 3 hours away from home, you better believe he'd be home every weekend. And our son is not biologically ours. We inherited him when my father passed away. In 2 days, it will be 11 years since my father passed away. And, it's still hard, but we have had my stepson, or my son, our son. He was biologically my grandson. My youngest daughter gave birth to him, and then my mom and dad adopted him when he was 3 months old. And then I inherited him. My husband and I inherited him when my dad passed away. And he is a blessing. I'll give you that much. He is a blessing. He drives me nuts. 100% he drives me nuts. But I couldn't imagine my life without him. I don't know how Katie did. If Katie did, how did she allow whatever happened to Sebastian to happen?
If you just see each other every other weekend. I appreciate your opinion.
I'm
We
trying to
have-
agree to the
He's like, well, he was.
smiley talking part.
There have been times I'm like, I want to take these from you, but I would never do that. Especially a special needs child. You don't do that. Pets are a bond. And it's even stronger when you're a child. And listen, when he was and my voice gets like said, if I get really mad, my voice will shake. It does the same thing. That's how I recognized it. His voice was shaking. And I thought, oh, we're seeing a little bit of Chris.
I must have missed something.
Yeah.
He wants to see if you can drop the link again. I think it's
Oh, okay.
deleting fast.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Here we go.
Drew, thank you so much.
Paste.
I know.
Thank you so much. If you was gifted that membership from Drew, give Drew a big thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support, Drew. It means more than you know.
Fine.
Thank
Like
you.
I told y'all from the very beginning, I'm brash, I'm direct, but I'm respectful. And I
haven't heard
He's
respect.
brash, he's direct, but he's respectful. That's in his mind. He says he's brash, but he's respectful. Now, last night when Josh went up there and Josh kind of challenged him, his voice, and wait till we get there in this video, his voice was shaking. And my voice gets like said, if I get really mad, my voice will shake. It does the same thing. That's how I recognized it. His voice was shaking. And I thought, oh, we're seeing a little bit of Chris. We're getting there. We're getting there. And that was just Josh challenging him to what? With his own words. That's right, Amy. That's right, Scorpio. Josh struck a nerve.
Now, is Josh
Big time.
elevated
I
true?
ask for the same and everybody else.
Yeah, and I told them a while ago, just please be respectful, because I wasn't expecting this. Like, please be respectful, y'all, because
So one thing right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, really irks me with some of these folks that want to follow these YouTube, and I'm very honest about this. Somebody says I won't talk to men. Not that I don't want to talk. Right. It's not that I don't want to talk to men. I have talked to more law enforcement men agencies in the past 20.
Well, that's because you're pretty much required to. Otherwise, you're going to look really, really, really guilty, in my opinion. Come talk to a girly boy. How about that? Come talk to a girly boy. Start your way there. Work your way
24
up.
days, and I've probably ever talked to my entire life. Same thing goes for women. So no, I don't have a problem talking to a man or talking to a woman. I appreciate everybody's assumptions or concerns, innuendos, whatever they want to be. But at the same time, I vet who I talk to. I'm not just going to open up and talk to anybody. And I will put this out there. JLR, everybody wants me to talk to this guy.
He vets everybody because he goes and he looks on their profile, and if she's not beautiful like Miss Smiley or like Terry Lynn or somebody like that, he ain't talking to him, in my opinion, because he likes to flirt. I think part of the reason he's talking to Smiley is because Katie's on there, and he wants to keep Katie from saying certain things. That's my opinion. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Explain to me, Smiley, you would probably have a better understanding of this. Explain to me why I should talk to JLR.
I just really wish you would, because he does go out everywhere, and he wants the truth. I mean, and he may not get the truth out of you, but I have seen him literally go in places deep.
Yay, Smiley! She said it right there. He may not get the truth out of you. Who's going to? Who is going to get the truth out of Chris?
Like scary places, and like really just
Smiley
try
just
to get
slipped. Smiley just slipped there. Smiley just slipped there. He might not get the truth out of you, Chris. Smiley, you slipped. He may not get the truth out of you, Chris, but you should still talk to him.
I hadn't
that's
seen
funny.
this. I haven't seen this episode.
That's funny. See, your brain will tell on you. It doesn't like to lie. You have to constantly work through those files in your brain to lie.
That's why
Now
I
listen.
don't lie.
JLR, he is, I've worked with him in the past, and I've met him, and love him or hate him. But JLR is a single man, or pretty much, I think he's single. I don't know his personal life, but anyway, he doesn't have kids. He is free to go wherever he wants, whenever he wants, how he wants, and he is constantly working. He works hard. He works very hard. Right? You want to know why this happened. You want to find truth. Truth matters. And please welcome Miss Kimberly to the family. Thank you.
the truth and try to like follow people that's just taking him in the woods or whatever, show him places, whatever, that he didn't know from Adam. He goes from one place to another. He may be on a plane to Mexico. Next time he might be in California, whatever. And, he's grown a lot. I just think a lot of people don't give him a chance. That's just my honest opinion.
Right. Do you know why people don't want to give this man a chance?
Well, go ahead and tell me. I want your opinion.
So I'm going to tell you my personal opinion.
Okay.
Okay, this is my personal opinion. This is nobody else's, not my wife's, not anybody else's. My personal opinion.
Okay.
So I did my due diligence, and I read up on Jonathan Lee Rich.
Mhm.
Rich is, excuse me. I've read up on him. Not necessarily the best character in the world. When you start reading and the first thing comes up, everything that you can find on this individual. Now, I don't know him, Adam from Eve. I really don't. He don't know me, Adam from Eve. But when he opens his mouth and goes out there and starts spreading lies, and yes, lies, because unless you got hardcore evidence that I'm an abusive husband, abusive father, I've got a restraining order against me, unless you got proof, don't open your mouth, because it's real simple. I don't have any of that. Good luck finding it. I've never lied to y'all. I've been.
What you're hearing in the background as Chris is talking is the radios from the cranes where he's working. And there is proof because I believe it was his second wife. We've been told she will not speak to anybody because he almost left her for dead after beating her so bad. And she will not speak to anybody because she is afraid of him.
Open and honest. People don't like my answers, so people want to come back with their own assumptions. And I'm so sorry that I can't open up and give you every little piece of evidence and every little detail that we know. I am terribly sorry. It sucks, because when it does and it can't come out, my only question to everybody else is,
Now listen, JLR did some unsavory things in the past. We understand that. It was a different time in his life. He paid his debt to society and he changed. That is what we can hope for. That's what you pray to God happens to people who may have done some screw ups, right?
Everybody makes mistakes.
But he obviously is not that person that was many years ago. He obviously isn't. I mean, that's just the truth. There is nothing, it's like a different human being.
I haven't seen very many of JLR's investigations, but I've seen a few of them. And he seems like he's on the up and up now. I don't know anything about his past. I didn't go into his past. To me, that's a form of stalking when you research somebody. I don't have the type of job, and being a content creator here on YouTube, I don't have to know if somebody made a mistake in their past. I don't have to know if somebody is a substance abuser or an alcoholic or what their past is. Because whatever happened in a person's past is not relevant to what is happening with the case. Now, granted, this is the first case I'm trying to learn about, but I plan and I hope that there will be more. And I don't care about, what kind of lifestyle a person chooses to live. I was a smoker for 32 years. I used to be an alcoholic. Well, they say once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. But I went from being a hardcore alcoholic when I was 19. I lived in Wyoming, and that was legal drinking age. And then I knew I needed to quit, so I moved to Arkansas where my parents lived. Actually, we went down for Christmas and my truck broke down. So I was there. I was only 20, so I couldn't drink until I was 21 in Arkansas. And once I got in Arkansas, it took me years. It wasn't until 2021 before I could come back here. But my second husband, who's dead now, was an alcoholic. And I said, I'll never be that again. And then after that, if I did drink, it was only socially. And I had my last drink on Thanksgiving of 2021. My stepdaughter and her family was here, and we were having Thanksgiving with my father-in-law, who was staying in our house. And we were drinking our Trulies or whatever. And after that day, I never had another drink. I didn't want it. I had no desire to have it. Now I can be around people that are drinking, and I don't feel like I have to socialize with the. I've got my iced tea, or I've got my Diet Dr. Pepper, or I've got a cup of coffee. I'm just as happy as I can be. I'm not any better than anybody else. And if anybody does have, I never used any illegal substances. When I was 14, a half of a smoke shared between 3 people, it made me sound like I was Mickey Mouse when I was talking. I said, I ain't doing this again. So I don't mess with that stuff either. So, I'm not any better than anybody else. Everybody makes mistakes. I have made many mistakes. But I don't hold my mistakes against me, and I'm not going to hold anybody else's mistakes against them. If you're a good person, you're a good person.
And I can tell you one thing, JLR gets, we get to the bottom of it. We're going to FOIA the shit out of everything. And we're going to find
I
it.
have cancer on the end of my nose, and it's itching really bad.
To the investigation. It's horrible. We need to reiterate those words back to her. While she might be, walking in a courthouse, perhaps.
We have to find him.
I mean, and it sucks.
Yeah, you have to find him, and that's the most important thing.
Yes.
The rest is going to fall into place later, but the most important thing is he has to be found, and he has to be found regardless. Period.
I want to just side note, he's not clapping, y'all.
He's not what?
People keep saying that he's clapping. He's not clapping. That's just background noise.
Oh, I don't hear any. Yeah, y'all.
Some people have heard their clapping, and that's fine. Yes, I'm currently working.
Yeah, y'all.
Now, where understand people, where I work is really nobody's business.
24 hours later, JLR is on location. Chris is not going to be happy.
And I would hope you would respect that, because I'm not this criminal. I'm not this monster.
Oh, I didn't see this. I'm sorry, Melissa. I'm so happy I found this channel, and also Smileys. I appreciate your respect. Thank you so much, Melissa. That is so very kind of you. Welcome. We really do appreciate you being here, y'all. Please welcome Melissa. Thank you so much.
That everybody wants to believe. But I do believe in privacy and respect, and it goes both ways.
Yeah, I don't feel anybody should be going to anybody's job or anything like that. No, I don't feel anything like that. But as far as JLR, I mean, that's up to you who you speak with or anything like that. I do appreciate you holding up to your bargain, speaking to me. Some of the harder questions, it has nothing
Awesome.
to do with you, but I'm just saying, as far as all that has nothing to do with you. It's just a matter of how I put it to every case that I care about. And there's no reason to be angry about it. It's just something, whether it's me, you, or
West, I think that's a little reverse psychology, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
whoever, and that happens to. Look, I had a grandson that went missing for a couple of hours here not very long ago, back last year, and I know how that feels. And we can sit and say this happened, this happened, and this one don't know, and whatever. But I'm very passionate about these. I've been through a lot of tragedies that a lot of these people that are my subs don't know that I've been through, and a lot I have told them. But I understand.
Because your story doesn't make sense. How about that? Come talk to a girly boy.
I got off track. I was clicking the wrong
And
thing.
then being to the investigation, but you can't talk about it because of the investigation. That doesn't make sense.
Went on. And I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I can understand that. But let me ask you this:
Yes, ma'am.
if somebody has over 100,000 people, why do you care what their past is or what they say if they can help you get Sebastian's name out?
So when you and I'll be honest with you, I've heard some of yours, and the
mhm.
toxicity that comes out of what you guys projected about me has only toxified everybody else that puts in a lead or says, well, check out the stepfather, do this, do that, call law enforcement, check this out, do this. You take a body, every time something gets reported, a body comes away from the investigation.
In my opinion, I hadn't heard him say that before. But in my opinion, the reason everybody thinks it's him is because he won't show any receipts. Is there proof that he was in Memphis that night? No. No. Did anybody see him? Was he at a bar? Was he, at 2:00 in the morning? Was he there when the bar was closing so he could go home and go to sleep and get ready for work the next morning? Did anybody see him? No. And if somebody's saying, we think it's you, and you're getting all mad like this, it's just history, in my opinion, from seeing other people that way. When they get all mad like that, and somebody's saying, we think it's you, and they start getting mad and yelling at the host of a show that they invited themselves on, because she was actually on Justin's panel, and he phoned her and told her he wanted her to go live right now. She had to jump off of Justin's panel to go over there and put together this live. And then he's going to go on there and get mad at her because other people think he's guilty. How can he say he's respectful? Miss Smiley, I'm so sorry that he did that to you.
Investigation to vet because they are required to do so. And it sucks because the same answers are the same across the board.
Well, your answers has not been the same across the board. That is absolutely untrue.
That's true, Tristan.
You've changed. Both have changed answers. We can prove that, right, with your interviews that you've done. But I understand what Chris is saying here. I mean, don't report something if it's not a valid, absolutely valid, firsthand account on Sebastian. That's the only time you should be reporting. Not you heard it from a third, heard it from a friend's friend, right? Like, I get that. It does take resources, and it does take resources off of, they do have to investigate it for the most part. They do. But also, you're not helping yourself by stating that he was wearing this, and then the next day he's wearing this.
Why they won't come out and tell in the public eye, hey, all three parents have been completely vetted. All three parents have been, questioned. All of this. Why they won't come out and say it? I understand to a point. I do. But it sucks at the same time, because it's extremely hurtful that me, my wife, and Seth have to live in this life, even when this is over. However it ends, we have to live this life, not everybody else.
Quite frankly, Sebastian's going to find out what everybody's been saying about his parents, and I can't even imagine how distraught he's going to be. But
when she said that, I hope she means that. I really do. I'll be the first to tell you, the last anyone wants to think is someone's blood, someone's family member, someone's caregiver, someone's mother's husband, stepdad, boyfriend, someone living in the house, hurts a child. That's the last thing. It's the absolute last thing you want to believe. Now, if it's some random stranger, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's awful. No life should be taken.
100% agree with Justin.
But someone you're supposed to love and care and protect, that can take the life of someone, that's the worst. It's the worst. So I am going to hold those words to her. I'm going to hold those words to her. And if it ever comes out that they are involved in any way, shape, or form, we need to reiterate those words back to her. While she might be, walking in a courthouse, perhaps.
we have to find him.
I mean, and it sucks.
Yeah, you have to find him, and that's the most important thing.
Yes.
The rest is going to fall into place later, but the most important thing is he has to be found, and he has to be found regardless. Period.
I want to just side note, he's not clapping, y'all.
He's not what?
People keep saying that he's clapping. He's not clapping. That's just background noise.
Oh, I don't hear any. Yeah, y'all.
Some people have heard their clap, and that's fine. Yes, I'm currently working.
Yeah, y'all.
Now, where understand people, where I work is really nobody's business.
24 hours later, JLR is on location. Chris is not going to be happy.
And I would hope you would respect that, because I'm not this criminal. I'm not this monster.
Oh, I didn't see this. I'm sorry, Melissa. I'm so happy I found this channel, and also Smileys. I appreciate your respectable. Thank you so much, Melissa. That is so very kind of you. Welcome. Welcome. We really do appreciate you being here, y'all. Please welcome Melissa. Thank you so much.
That everybody wants to believe. But I do believe in privacy and respect, and it goes both ways.
Yeah, I don't feel anybody should be going to anybody's job or anything like that. No, I don't feel anything like that. But as far as JLR, I mean, that's up to you who you speak with or anything like that. I do appreciate you holding up to your bargain, speaking to me. Some of the harder questions, it has nothing to do with you, but I'm just saying, as far as all that has nothing to do with you. It's just a matter of how I put it to every case that I care about, and there's no reason to be angry about it. It's just something, whether it's me, you, or who.
West, I think that's a little reverse psychology, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Whoever, and that happens to. Look, I had a grandson that went missing for a couple of hours here not very long ago, back last year, and I know how that feels. And we can sit and say this happened, this one, and
But tonight,
and I figured, well, if you can't beat them, join them. Meaning,
I'm gonna pass this.
You got to remember that's not free. So I'm just saying.
Right, but
So I would ask the question, did he ask all the local media outlets to, pull the advertisers that they do it? I somewhat get what he's saying, but also he shouldn't be worried. He should be worried right now on his son, or stepson. That's all he should be worrying about, is his son. That's it.
If I'm on his show, we're talking about my son's case.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. There is a situation of my son, not everybody else's. And I know he's doing his thing, and I appreciate it. What I don't appreciate is some of the stuff he does put out there that he when I've asked the guy, I said, do you have proof? Do you have physical evidence that I am anything what you say?
Right.
And he doesn't. So then keep my name.
He's going to say, keep my name out of your mouth.
Name out of your mouth.
You're right. I mean, we don't have physical evidence. We're not the police. I'm not the police. I'm not a judge or jury. It's not my job to convict anyone. What I do is I put the victim's name out. We try to get it as everywhere as we possibly can. And I mean, what does he want? What does he want? What does he expect? When these things come out, unfortunately, whenever a child does disappear, everyone's looked at. And if your story doesn't make sense, you wonder why people are side-eyeing you. Well, because your story doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that a 15-year-old boy is seen going into a house and not seen coming out of a house. Nobody vanishes inside of a house. You don't just combust and are no more. That's not the way the world works. Right? With every action, there's an equal or greater reaction. I'll walk out by himself. He's not missing a coat. Well,
I'm not going to talk to him on the phone or anything. I don't do that. But like, I just like what he does. But so I'm just asking because he'll hear this. So are you? So and you don't want him to monetize on that? He's talking about your son, correct?
Yeah, if he's going to monetize, take that money, go buy flyers, go buy yard signs, put it on the billboards.
Okay, all right.
I mean, and that's fair. I'm asking. He wants to be on the show. That's fine.
Oh, that's fine. Then you tell the court, or you tell not the court, you tell the news media, tell local media that they cannot monetize their piece where they're putting Sebastian out.
You got a point, Justin.
They're not going to do it.
Then I want a public acknowledgement that you're going to donate every dollar that you make off of my son's show to finding him.
We are putting this out to the world. You should want the world to see who your stepson is, Sebastian Rogers. That should be number one. I don't care. I just want my son back. Don't care. Just give him back. We just want him happy. We just want him healthy. We just want him okay. Just give him back. I don't care what happens. Just bring him back safe.
Amen.
Just get it out. Get it out to the public. Tell the person, just get him back safe. I don't care.
Justin, you're getting upset.
That's not what we hear, though. That's not what we hear, though. We hear, I want a public apology.
And I don't care what it is. When something in your life becomes so publicized and it's so dramatic, people find a way to turn and find ways to just make it the worst thing even worse. Just because, and it sucks. It truly sucks.
I personally think we should all be working together to find Sebastian, because Sebastian is an awesome person who deserves to be home.
Katie, let me ask you, the night of Sunday night, when you said there was a noise, what type of noise do you think that was that you heard?
I'm not honestly sure. It sounded like he was messing with stuff in his room, which was not uncommon.
No. See, I mean, you could probably always hear him messing with something. A noise is a distinctive, unfamiliar sound, right? That there was something, it would have to be something that would stand out to you. It has to be something that would stand out to you. If you just heard him in there, playing around or whatever, that's one thing. You hear that all the time. But sounds like it's coming from Sebastian's room. Let me go check. Nope.
Which is why I said, hey, I don't know what you're doing in there, but you're supposed to go to sleep.
Okay.
You can tell, in my opinion, the way that she just said that. She said it in a kind of a
Passive tone.
there was no feeling behind it. Hey, I don't know what you're doing in there, but it's time to go to sleep. It doesn't feel real. I don't believe that. Don't believe it as far as I can throw her. That's all it is. It's filler.
But even more so with all the people coming in, all the law enforcement coming in and looking through things, me looking through things, like everybody was searching everything.
So I have a question then, real quick.
I have a question for him on this, and I hope he comes up here. I have a question for him on this. I can't say it right now, but I have a question for him right here that I would love for him to answer. He wants some hard questions. Come on up.
So
Yeah.
you're asking that question. Is that because there's somebody's trying to insinuate that we tried to cover something up because the house was clean? Or
No.
You're so
please understand why I'm asking that question, because whether my house is dirty or clean really doesn't matter. But okay, I'm just trying to understand this.
Okay, well, I'll explain it to you. It's
Okay.
because I have a son that is autistic. He's 28 now, but I know it's all different types of children on the autism spectrum, but they like stuff in order. And so I was just wondering, like, I was just trying to think back, and I'm just wondering, like, what did Seth mean by that? Like, was it just because the bed was messed up? And then I know the cop, like doing these cases and stuff, I know the cops. So, I mean, it's not like.
So Seth says that at his house, Sebastian has everything in order. Very nice and neat. He likes things in order. Everything in order.
You have to compare.
Why would that room be tore up? Why would that room be tore up? Why would that room be tore up? Something happen? Something go on in there? Could you have, been looking over to make sure everything was clear before you made a call? I don't know. Thank you, September Rain. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support, honey.
Questions. Listen, let me just tell you this. When I ask questions, you don't have to necessarily look. I'm not the police, okay? And you don't have to worry about how I ask questions. It's just, I also worked for a retention center for 11 years, and it was my job to retain people and think outside the box. And that's what I do. It's a habit. So there's
Right.
that.
So me asking that question back is because you've got a lot of viewers. I'm not saying your viewers. So let's make that super clear so that viewers don't get that construed with anything. But there's so many people out there with their insinuations, and because you asked that question, it would not surprise me to see a comment.
Vet girl, thank you for your service.
Well, that's because they cleaned the house before the cops got there. Trust me. We have seen it all, heard it all. People are putting stuff out there that is completely.
I mean, Chris said that he would, if Sebastian wouldn't clean the room to his liking, then Chris would go in and clean it, which he'll get to here shortly, and put things in a bag and make him take it out to the trash. I wonder.
That's a big waste of money. Donate it to the Goodwill.
If there was anything taken to the trash on Sunday night, early hours of Monday morning. Could that be possible? What do y'all think? Love to ask some
obtuse from the truth, and it is ridiculous. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah. Well, you can ask me anything you want. I mean, I don't mind explaining why I ask. I just don't want you to think I'm asking things in nefarious ways. I'm just simply asking. I'm trying to think, because I have been sitting here thinking for days, and I have my own things, and sometimes they have not been good. I'll just be straight up honest with you, because I'm not going to be fake and try to hide anything or whatever. You said yourself you've seen things that I said. I was not too happy the other night when somebody took my question and asked you, and that was a personal question when you said and I didn't like how you answered it, to be frank with you.
What did I say? Do you remember what it was, please?
It was something about, I was pretty hurt about that myself, and
thank you so much, spooky wife, army wife. Good to see you, by the way. Thank you. I think you mean Chris is tone and arrogance really gets under my skin. Yeah. I think this is Chris's world and we're just living in it. That's what I think. It's my opinion. But it sounds like you kind of agree with me on that. I think it's just his world and everyone else is living in it. I
never expect it was coming from somebody else, but they did that because they was butthurt at me anyway. But that's okay. It's okay. It's not about me fighting with anybody else. It's about Sebastian here. And, I just didn't, I just felt some kind of type of way because it's the way you answered it and you already had it in your private messages. But none of that matters. What matters is Sebastian, and I want to know, tell me, Chris, can you tell me about the snake? Tell me about the snake. Why did you get rid of the snake? Or y'all got or decided together, or tell me about the snake.
This really
right
here.
So to answer your question about the snakes, I'll start at the beginning of the snakes. So long time ago, I actually used to breed reptiles, snakes, gargoyle, reptile, all kinds of stuff. You name it, just about reptiles. I used to breed it. Love reptiles. One of my favorite things. Mm-hmm. In California, we actually had a snake. They had a bearded dragon. It died. Mm-hmm. But we wound up getting a snake. Well, Sebastian liked it.
They is me and Bubba. We had a beardy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But we had a Samantine boa. Sebastian liked the idea of having a snake. Well,
he loved that thing.
He's never had one that was his snake, his own snake. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, when I do something, I go all in. I don't half-ass do it. So, I bought.
I agree with him. I believe him on that. Anything he does. He doesn't half-ass do anything. I believe him on that. I absolutely do believe him on that. Thank you, green-eyed PI did want Sebastian around his daughter. Why? He didn't want, in my opinion, around. Why? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. But I think that was a problem, in my opinion. Thank you so much. Miss Always Right Ryan. Hello, dear. Good to see you, beautiful. They searched the landfill because the normal pickup trash, yes. Yeah, we're going to get to that. Said that the trash container was heavier than it normally is. This man is so rude. Thank you so much, Miss Ryan. Appreciate you. So it was concerning enough that the trash pickup
Sorry, my mic was muted. Hello, H. Davis. Welcome in.
called law enforcement and said that when they picked up the trash on Monday morning in the very, very early morning hours, from what I've heard, allegedly that they show up at 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. to pick up their trash. Very, very early. Allegedly, the trash people, the trash truck guys, they said that the trash was extraordinarily heavy, oddly shaped, and it took two men to dump, I guess, get the dumpster or the trash can.
I'm doing well. I'm battling a migraine, but we'll get through it. And it's good to see you as well. Thank you for being here.
And picked up and put in the trash truck. Now, I know what your first thought is. I know what, and that's everyone's first thought without even saying it. If you've been here in the true crime genre, this isn't our first rodeo with landfills, trash trucks. But
how are you doing?
It doesn't necessarily means it's our first thing. It could also be things that, you know, certain items that needs to be thrown away for, in my opinion, allegedly evidence, right? It could be furniture, anything. But the thing is, it's the trash, the landfill goes all the way to Kentucky. I mean, it's a long ways. It can be chopped up. Yep. Like the furniture, they can do that. So, yep.
Purchased. However, I've got friends that are in the world still that are in that business, and we all chit chat and I wind up coming across. Basically, I had like about 30 snakes at one given time.
Mhm.
All of them were ball pythons.
Mhm.
I didn't have anything retic. I didn't have anything massive, poisonous, or anything like that. Well, Sebastian was infatuated with one of the snakes that one of the breeders I deal with had. And it's the picture that the snake that you see in the picture that's wrapped around his arm. That
Yeah.
is his personal pastel ball python named Brownie. That is his personal snake. He loved them. The downside, like it got to the point with mom's work, my work, and I told Sebastian, I said, you know, having a snake means responsibility. You're
Mhm.
going to clean it. You're going to have to feed it. You're going to water it. You're going to do all that stuff.
And he
If you
actually
don't,
did.
See what, Katie?
I said, and he did for a little while.
And then he stopped.
and
Yeah.
and parenting is, and I think everybody understands this. When you're a parent, you're not just your kid's best friends. You're not. That's not what your job is. Your job is to be a parent. And I told Sebastian, if you don't,
Your job is also not to be a drill sergeant either. Right? You want your kids to come to you, to be able to tell you things that, a lot of kids will not come to their parents because they're afraid of them, and stuff goes wrong. Stuff goes wrong because they didn't feel like they could go to their parents. They didn't feel like they could go to anybody. I want my kids to be able to always be able to come to me. Always. We'll figure it out.
come on over, man. Whatever, just call me up. Cool.
Yeah.
It's
It wasn't like he would never get to see it again. It was just,
right. Lessons have to be taught. I'm a very firm believer, it is what it is. Is it always gone forever? No, not necessarily. But you're going to earn it back. It's not just going to be handed to you.
Exactly, Vet Girl. One's friends and has a snake as a friend, and yet they take it away. Nice dude, pretty weak. Pretty weak. Rewind what? How far?
And he's like, if you ever want him, come get him, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, man, appreciate it. But right now, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So right now, we're not just hang tight with him. So we got rid of the snakes.
so did his dad not want him, or you couldn't take him to his dad's or anything so he could see them when they're there? I just wondered.
No, his
Well-
dad couldn't take him.
Well, his dad wasn't going to take 30 snakes. I mean, because 30 snakes, you're talking a big old rack, all kinds of stuff. I mean, and you've got to deal with the food, which is going to be rats and things like that.
Yeah.
People don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a question. I mean, I know I wouldn't. It's just a question. It was a question because I wondered, like, I could tell in the picture he really liked it. So that,
Can you imagine?
Wants to go, I can call him up. We'll head over to his snake, his big old snake. He's got a building full of them, and that's where ours are. And he's like, you want to see him? Just come on over, man. Whatever, just call me up. Cool.
yeah,
It's
it wasn't like he would never get.
Sebastian, here's the bag. Go put it in the trash can. And then you're going to take in his room.
Mhm.
And people are going to make me sound like I'm so horrible. But I promise you, folks, you try this with your kids one time, and you won't ever have a problem with this again. So if you tell them to clean their room,
Whatever.
And they go in there and they
Listen
clean
to
your
this.
room. Well, they say come out. Well, it's clean. And you go in there and you go to check the room, and the room's not clean. Okay. Thought I told you to clean this room. You told us the room is clean, did you not?
Now remember, we have the public self, the private self, the secret self. This is what he's willing to admit to. Can you imagine what it was like
For real?
living with Mr. Proudfoot?
Well, yes, sir. Okay. Now I'm going to clean your room. And you know exactly what that means. I go in and I go grab a trash bag. I walk back in that bedroom. If it's on the floor and it's not supposed to be on the floor, it's not picked up and put in the right places, goes in the trash bag. If it's not important enough for you to take care of and pick up, I'll take care of it for you. Throw in the trash bag. Tie it up. I've done this to him twice. One time, Mom talked me out of it. The other time, Sebastian, here's the bag, go put it in the trash can. And then you're going to take the trash can to the street. And after that, goes in the trash bag. If it's not clean. Okay.
Listen to the
Thought I
words.
told
Here.
you to clean this room.
Listen to the words.
You told us the room is clean, did you not? Well, yes, sir. Okay. Now I'm going to clean your room. And you know exactly what that means. I go in and I go grab a trash bag. I walk back in that bedroom. If it's on the floor and it's not supposed to be on the floor, it's not picked up and put in the right places, goes in the trash bag. If it's not important enough for you to take care of and pick up, I'll take care of it for you. Throw in the trash bag. Tie it up. I've done this to him twice. One time, Mom talked me out of it. The other time, Sebastian, here's the bag, go put it in the trash can. And then you're going to take the trash can to the street. And after that, Sebastian, did you clean your room? Well, your mom told you to clean your room. Did you clean the room? Yes or no? Well, yes, sir. Is it clean the way it's supposed to be? Well, no, sir. Then I suggest you go back in there and clean it, or I'm coming in there in the next 10 minutes and I'm cleaning.
Do you think this could have happened that weekend? His room was a wreck. Sebastian, clean your room. Sebastian, clean your room. He goes in and he picks it up. Then he says, whenever
being able to, yes, very much. And then you've got
Thank
this.
you, H. Davis. I
oh my
enjoy having
goodness,
you.
Daily, thank you so much for gifting 2 memberships. Thank you, my love. So kind of you. Love you, love you. If you guys was gifted memberships from Daily. And thank you, Miss Amy, for gifting a membership. Thank you, my love. If y'all were gifted 2 memberships from Daily and 1 from Amy, please give them a big, big thank you. So sweeties. Love you, ladies. Thank you
The
so
plan
much.
on top
Welcome
of it,
to the family.
and you know what you can do, what you can't do, with because you've got the other parent and this parent. That's always a struggle. When you can get on the same page with each other, and finally,
Yes, Katrina.
everybody understands.
That is exactly what I said. If it was a normal sound, it would not have been remembered. Wouldn't have been remembered. There was enough of a sound that sounds odd, right, to be rememberable. Rememberable. But She didn't check on it. That he's not as threatening. That is why people have, right? You're releasing the anxiety. You're releasing the pain. You are releasing the emotion.
You will never strike a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
And I'm not accusing you of so, but again, Seth has said that Katie, and again, I'm sorry, Katie, that that again there was a time, and this is a long. People can change, but again, it's been said that Katie has struck Seth, and that again, that's a long. I wasn't there, so
No.
And I wasn't there either, for the record. So,
so maybe Katie should answer this. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe Katie should just answer
no.
this.
That, oh Lord, no. That that is a whole nother thing that happened back then.
Yeah. Well, that's what brought me to my question. So I was just wondering if, Sebastian stepped in, and then I had heard.
He did. He was slapping like a desk or something. He absolutely was slapping like a desk, and then he was slapping his hands. He absolutely was.
At another place where Seth had said Sebastian would step in, and I didn't.
I agree, Shaggy. You should not whip another person's child. I don't care if you're the step parent or whatever. No, ma'am, no ham, no turkey.
Even know if he was talking about that or not, because I heard about that separate, that Sebastian would step in and say, don't do this to my dad or whatever. And he could be talking about something totally different. But, again, I have to think all kinds of things in my head. So did Sebastian have tantrums at all? And this is
yeah. He's a kid. I mean, it's even when I came in the picture, I mean, his tantrums were pretty bad. I mean, to the point. I mean,
Negative.
I'm not dragging Seth, his mom, his sister, my wife. I'm not dragging people through the mud.
Yeah, you are. You are telling yourself, oh, I'm not dragging them, but there's that but. Until I came in the picture, right? Until I came in the picture, he used what he says.
They keep saying, who's Rachel? So you want to answer that for you tell them to pass on?
Okay.
The past is the past. Let it die. Let it be. The past is the past. Let it die. Let it be. I've never heard anyone say, the past is the past. Let it die. I've never heard anybody say that. But it's an interesting use of words. And the past is important. It absolutely is important. To me, the way I feel like Chris lives, there's people who observes their past. They remember their past of where they don't want to go again. They don't want to be there again, but they learn from their past mistakes. And then there are people that says the past is the past. The past is the past, and I don't want to remember anything about it. Nothing, not even the lessons. Just let go completely. Forget about the lessons. Let it die. Forget about it. Let's move on. Let's move forward. And some of that is okay. But you still have to remember I mean, pull it or bullet, right? She still do it to this day. A lot of
I'm
celebrities
trying to get
marry
through the rest of the interview.
specifically. All his exes ran to Texas.
I'm not saying that what Justin has to say is not important,
I
because
mean,
it is.
I would probably back tomorrow.
Okay. So I'm going
I'll
to
be
end that
live
part here.
in the morning.
We've already been almost 2 hours, and I've got one more piece. Hold on just a second. My cat wants it. Sorry. There's sirens outside, and he does not like sirens. Okay, this is also from Clutch Them Pearls. And it says Sebastian Rogers TBI press conference. I think this one's going to be a lot shorter because I don't believe that Justin covered the whole press conference. So let's pull this up, see what TBI had to say back then.
Here we go.
WEIDNER. You guys ready? All right. Morning. I'm Eric Craddock with Summary County Sheriff's Office, and we're going to come to you today with an update on the Sebastian Rogers case. Sebastian has been missing since late February. The investigation remains ongoing with steadfast support from the Summary County Sheriff's Office, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and many other local and federal resources. We are exploring every lead that comes in and every tip that comes in. As I said before, the investigation remains ongoing. The entire community is deeply saddened by what.
I got a commercial, I'm sorry.
The investigation remains ongoing with steadfast support from the Summary County Sheriff's Office, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and many other local and federal resources. We are exploring every lead that comes in and every tip that comes in. As I said before, the investigation remains ongoing. The entire community is deeply saddened by what has occurred. We're all extremely concerned for Sebastian's welfare. I want to encourage the community to stay vigilant, to report anything that they think may be of some significance to the investigation, no matter how minute it may appear to be to you. Please call 1-800-TBI-FIND with any tips, or the Sumner County Emergency Communications Center at 615-451-3838. We understand the anxiety and the concern that this case has caused in the community. We too share the anxiety and concern for Sebastian. I want to reiterate that we are doing everything we can to find Sebastian and bring him home. Despite the passage of time, the commitment to finding Sebastian remains unwavering. I said this when we scaled the search back. Our commitment to finding Sebastian remains. We will continue to investigate every possible lead that comes in. The Summary County Sheriff's Office wants to express our gratitude to the community and the many individuals who have helped in the search, the many individuals who have called in tips, the many individuals who have printed flyers and kept Sebastian's face in the news. Nothing would make me happier than to wake up tomorrow morning with a tip that cracks this case wide open and we find Sebastian and bring him home. At this time, I'll turn it over to Susan Allen from the TBI.
Right here is TBI.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for being here. We know how invested everybody is in the search for Sebastian, in finding out what happened to him and bringing him home. And we want to let everybody know he has not been forgotten. Nobody's forgotten about him. Nobody has given up looking for him. At the beginning of this investigation, there was a large land search for him. It was very visible. There were also waterways, lakes, ponds that were searched. There were aerial searches with helicopters and drones and fixed wing planes. They were done at night. They were done on weekends. They were done during the day. That was very visible, and it was something everybody was able to see. But we want to let you know that even though there is not that high visibility in investigating this case, that we are not done. It's gone back to what could be considered good old-fashioned police work. Interviewing individuals, re-interviewing individuals, checking out leads, rechecking leads. We have been working with other law enforcement agencies who have had, in other jurisdictions, who have perhaps had some complex cases of their own that they have worked on to get tips from them. We have had, this day of technology with everyone having cell phones and doorbells and ring bells and surveillance cameras. That, as you can imagine, has been a bit of a chore to be able to collect all those and then review them. It's important so we know what's out there. We have been reviewing that, reviewing it again. We have had other agencies involved. The FBI has been helpful in that. Secret Service has also been helpful in that. So we are just trying to do whatever we can to advance the investigation. It has not gone to a place where anybody has forgotten about him or is not pursuing this. The parents have been cooperative throughout at the beginning of the investigation. They have pretty much done whatever law enforcement has asked of them. At this point, we don't have any evidence. There is not any kind of an indication that there is a criminal element involved. But we are keeping options open. We don't know what has happened. We don't know where Sebastian is right now. So we are pursuing any and all avenues. We do want to caution there are some social media elements out there who purport to have information that is direct from the investigation. I just want to reiterate that is not the case. Some of the information that is being provided on some of the social media channels is inaccurate, incomplete. We don't want this to damage the investigation. So we would just caution anyone who is following the case to just use some caution as to what you see and what you believe. It's caused a bit of a distraction because a lot of what has been out there in some of the social media channels has been rumors and speculations and theories, and some of that has been advanced and people have caught a hold of it as if it's what's really happening. That has resulted in us getting information that is either, like I said, distracting. It's taking away time and effort from what the agencies need to be doing as far as looking for Sebastian. We have had so far, as of this morning, 314 tips that have come in through the tip line. It's been mentioned, but I'll say it again. It's 1-800-TBI-FIND. We are also taking tips through email, which is tips to TBI, TBI, at tbi.tn.gov. What's next? We want people, as Chief Deputy said, to continue to remain vigilant, get Sebastian's picture out there, continue to share his picture, his information. Now that it's getting to be nicer, well, not today with the weather, but now that the weather has turned warmer, people may be more inclined to be in their yards. If you go out and see anything that looks different, let us know. Something where perhaps a teenager could have hidden. If you have a large amount of property in the area or something that has any kind of holes or unstable footing or ledges where a teen could have gone to hide or to play, and you don't feel comfortable checking it out, let us know. We'll get somebody from law enforcement to go out there with you or to check it out themselves. We just want to make sure that every stone is unturned, that there's no stone left unturned, that we want people to make sure that we are looking everywhere we can. We do want to continue to get the tips, but please don't provide information that you might have seen through social media channels. If you have information about Sebastian, about conversations you might have had with him, things he likes to do, places he likes to go, any people he may have mentioned that are
He
in his
wasn't
life,
allowed to hang out with
that would be
anybody.
helpful in finding out maybe what he was interested in. Finally, we want to thank the community. We want to thank the media. You guys have been really good about keeping his name in the public's eye. That's really important. And thank you for your diligence in providing that information out there. And as Chief Deputy said, we also want to thank the community.
In my opinion, it's social media. Social media that has kept Sebastian's name out there. Because as you saw when I was going through my first 5 days of this, between April and November, there was only a very few things said through the newscasters and the news media.
From the very first day, everybody has really been all in as far as whatever they can do to help in the search, to help pass information on, providing water for the teams that were out conducting the ground searches. So thank you again to everybody. I'm going to pass it back to Eric Credit.
The weather is rolling in. We've got time for some questions. So, yes, ma'am.
I was a few minutes behind, so sorry if I missed this, but has there been any indication at this point of foul play or anything of that nature?
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in this.
That's such a lie.
We're not ruling anything out.
So 5 weeks, and you guys covered so much ground. Searching, going back, researching, checked out every case of a possible sighting, nothing confirmed, not a trace of Sebastian anywhere, nothing found. No footprints, no video, nothing.
Nothing that is taking us to locate Sebastian.
And are there any working theories?
We come up with theories almost daily and try and investigate and make sure that we're doing everything we can to find Sebastian.
Share any of those?
No, sir.
2 questions, if I may. Have you ruled out Sebastian's mom and stepdad's involvement in this case? And as a follow-up, have you cleared their alibi?
I think the TBI said it best. They've been nothing but cooperative with law enforcement since day one of this investigation. There is no evidence to support foul play on the part of Sebastian's parents.
You're hearing it all in your investigation? Is it changing constantly the avenues of communication?
No, sir.
What are you thinking, Justin?
Your last about recent evidence, we heard some rumors that there was a test of validity, that there were glasses found within the past few days, and things like that.
There were some glasses found in the past few days.
Or have you been able to identify the thing for Sebastian?
We are still investigating.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Communication, have you found how is that coordination happening? Have you found their work helpful? Are you guys working to do the same or separately?
The Cajun Navy is operating independently. They have not reached out to us.
Have you found their investigation or their work helpful, or has it been one of the distractions that has been?
One of the things that I really appreciate they've done is print flyers and keep Sebastian's face out there. It's my hope that one day somebody sees something and calls in and this case breaks wide open and we find Sebastian.
They claim they've received
One of these days.
They filed any police reports or reports to the sheriff's department documenting any of these alleged threats?
No, sir.
Are we able to learn anything about what those threats are?
They would have to call the police and report them.
Where's the search go from here? It's been 5 weeks, there's been no sign.
My question is, I forgot my question. Okay, I forgot my question. We'll keep going.
Do you believe he's still alive? And
Oh yeah, is Eric Craddock, is he the one that is actually friends with Chris Proudfoot? Because if he's friends with Chris Proudfoot, I can see money going into his pocket, just my opinion, to keep his mouth shut. And if he's the only one actually working the case at this time, that water smell fishy.
what are you guys going to continue working on?
My hope and prayer is that Sebastian is still alive. Yes. We're going to continue to work on this investigation, follow every tip and lead that comes in. Some of this may revert back to us going over some things that we've already done for the 6th, 7th, or 8th time. A fresh set of eyes never hurt anything. We're going to continue to work to find Sebastian.
Has the story been changing at all? And you had talked with people interviewing them for a second time possibly?
There is no evidence to support foul play.
Are there any active currently that that's what?
We have tips called in daily.
Any of those tips seem legitimate enough to extend up on enforcement resources?
Regardless of their legitimacy, we're going to follow up on them.
Will there be any other agencies or to help in the search efforts for these cases?
I'm certain there will be.
You met with the biological father and mother this past week. Is that at their request, your request? That just re-interviewing them again?
That was at the request of law enforcement. It's not uncommon to talk to the family in investigations like this. I've got time for one more question.
Just overall, how has this investigation impacted the morale at your department, especially with all?
They're full of crap.
Let me put it to you like this. If my kid was missing, this is the team I'd want on it.
Not me.
The men and women of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, the FBI partners, the other
I
local
would want
agencies,
Texas.
service,
That's who I'd want on it.
everyone who's had a hand in this case is doing everything they can to find Sebastian. Morale's high. We are here and we are dedicated. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for keeping Sebastian in the public. Please continue to publicize this photo. Thank you all.
Okay. So what do we know? We know that Chris is full of BS because all he wants to do is tell lies. We know that Sumner County is not opening their mouth to tell the truth either. So what do we know? I guess we'll have to go and wait for tomorrow to see if we can learn anything new. I am understanding that Katie and Chris Proudfoot have done another interview. I do not know at what date it will be aired, but it will be aired on Fox 17 News. We saw tiny little clips of it last night in falsified something from the not really good PI that they hired. I thought a private eye was supposed to be private. Seth's PIs are private. We don't know who he hired. They're not going on social media saying who they are. But apparently, I think Seth is learning. And then we're coming close. Somebody said that I'll never catch up before Sebastian's found. And I hope that's true. I hope I do not catch up to the end of this case before Sebastian's found. I hope I don't. I hope one day I can come on and say, y'all, Sebastian's home. He's with his father where he belongs. Or we can start covering the court case. I'm sure either way, when Sebastian comes home, however he comes home, there will be a court case. I am 100% sure. 100% sure. There will be a court case. And I think I know who's going to be in court up on the witness stand. If they decide, because they have the right not to get on the witness stand. You saw that Quentin Simon's mother wouldn't get on the witness stand. And Megan, that beautiful little girl, Megan Boswell, wouldn't get on the stand and testify. I don't know why, but you know, If you want people to believe that you're innocent, you have to show them you're innocent. You have to show them. If you refuse to get on the stand and tell your side of the situation to the court of law, I don't believe there's any person out there that's ever going to believe you're innocent if you're truly innocent. My fear is that whenever the interview with, they say it's with Katie Proudfoot, whenever that interview is aired, I'm almost certain that Chris is going to dominate the interview just like he's dominated every other interview, because there are things that he does not want Katie to say. He will interrupt her. Let's watch the interview. Let's see if she sends her clues. Because what I've noticed in some of her interviews is when she's getting ready to tell a lie, she'll go, give herself time to think about how to tell the lie in what she would figure would be a believable manner. It's either that or she's fixing to send a clue to Seth. And I don't know if Seth's picked up on that or not. But I think that's her clue, because she's always going to tell a lie when she does that. She goes, and I don't know if that's a clue to Seth. Excuse me. For Seth to know that she's telling a lie. So for him not to, not to latch on to what she's about to say because it's not true. But I believe if she was doing that, Seth would let us know. Or maybe he wouldn't. Because if Seth let us know that she was going to tell a lie when she did that, then we'd all be looking for it. And she wouldn't give Seth that hint anymore. It's just my thought. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if I'm right. I hope I'm not. Anyway, I have kept you for almost 2 hours and 15 minutes. I want to thank you for being here. Do something nice for someone, even if it's be the reason they smile tonight, and get lucky.